I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
With Team Ontario taking on Team Quebec. And we're near the end of the round robin. Every win matters to try to advance to that championship round. Both of these teams are vying for the opportunity to advance. And I'm Jennifer Jones, joined with Brent Lang. And we're very excited to call this game today, Brent.
Yeah, this should be a good one. I mean, we've had lots of games. Every game means something, but this one means a lot. And take this with a grain of salt because I did the math, so it may be totally wrong. But I do know that Ontario and Quebec here are both at 3-2, and the winner of this game will be into the playoffs, regardless of what happens around the rink. And the loser would need some help. They would drop to 3-3, and they would need New Brunswick to lose to the Yukon. So we just saw New Brunswick, and they played quite well, so I wouldn't want to have to count on that. So I think there's a very good chance that the winner of this game is into the championship pool, and the loser of this game is not.
Exciting.
So take that, Jen.
I know, very exciting. And two very experienced teams here, Brent, with Team Quebec and Team Ontario. A lot of championship play from both of them, whether it be at a Brier, a senior national. Tons of experience on the ice.
Quebec lead Jean Gagnon here. These guys they didn't give us any bio info, and like I said last time they were on, I think that's so that all I could talk about is their 2006 Brier win where they beat us in the Regina final. But they're missing their skip. Jean-Michel Menard skipped that team, and Jean Gagnon was the fifth. Everybody else, Max actually was the lead on that team. He's now playing third, but these guys can play, as they say.
And I knew Brian Cochran. He helped our team a few years ago with some coaching stuff, and just an all-around great guy. Been involved in Ontario curling for probably as long as any you can remember. Hey, Brent?
He was a fixture at pretty much every one of the provincial championships, every one of the tankards I played in. And he represented Ontario at the Brier. I'm going to say that was 2003. And he's been runner-up here at the Canadian Seniors a couple of times, I think. Let me see. I think they actually won it once, did they not? Or maybe even twice. World Senior Champs in 2019. That's impressive. Silver medal in 2016, so they're two-time Canadian senior champs. Not too bad. Represented PEI in the Brier, Ian and Brian did. Both of them, I think, Ian's born in PEI. I think Brian was the import back in, I think, 2020. But so a hit and roll out there early by lead from Ontario, Ken Sullivan. Getting a lot of the free come around and couldn't quite get it buried there. Eric Sylvan playing second. So we're looking for hack weight. Second stone here, Graham Sinclair. I've heard a lot about Graham, but never met him in person, so I wasn't aware that this is Graham. He's well known in the Ottawa curling community and former military, basically Top Gun. He's a fighter pilot, Jen. He was, yeah, like real life maverick. So I haven't seen him in the hospitality room yet. This is a good looking shot. Gets by the guard real tight. Gonna roll buried. Mostly buried. It's a fantastic shot. Team Ontario does have the hammer. Won the pre-game draw to the button. So yeah, maybe pick Graham's brain later about his experiences flying fighter jets.
Super grateful for him. Can't wait to hear all about that.
Did a 20-year career.
Wow.
CF-18 fighter pilot. Served mostly in Cold Lake, Alberta and Bagotville, Quebec. Operational tours in Bosnia and Kosovo. Captain of Team Canada 1994 International. There it is. Top Gun competition. How cool is that?
So
Recipient
cool.
1993 USAF Air Crew of Distinction Award. Not bad at all.
So grateful to him for his service. I can't wait to hear all the stories. And with that miss, you're seeing Ontario trying to split the house and generate there too.
We've done that. You're going to see Quebec try and hit and roll back to the middle. Try and set up a double of some sort. Try and see if they can get out of this with a blank. So for some of these teams, this is the last game of the first round robin for Quebec and Ontario. Nova Scotia's got, in the other pool, we've got Nova Scotia plays Manitoba. Manitoba's got 2 games left, so they're currently on the ice against Northwest Territories. If they can win that, they'll punch their ticket to the next round and have a showdown for first place in that pool against Nova Scotia tonight. Actually, this is Pool A. This is our pool here, the pool of death. New Brunswick plays Yukon. And that wraps up that pool. Pool B, Saskatchewan has 1 more game against Alberta. They're already in the playoffs. Alberta's already out.
That's a big surprise, Brent. Members of that Alberta team are previous champions.
They lost the final last year and wanted redemption this year, and just it wasn't meant to be. They didn't come together, and admittedly, from all 4 players, they just haven't played very well by their standards. There's another big game, though. PEI and Newfoundland in Pool B, both 3-2. So whoever wins that game will be directly in, and whoever loses might be directly in, depending on what happens between Northern Ontario and BC. Good hit and stay there. Ontario doing a good job of holding this deuce so far.
Very nice hit and stay. Those are hard, Brent. Way out in the wings, you have not a lot of room for error.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, see if Maxime Elmaleh can roll this right to the button would be nice. It's close. This looks good.
Wow. What a shot.
Behind.
Really well done. And with that roll, it means that Ontario's going to have to change it up and try to roll to the right side of our screen, as we see. And likely have some sort of hit and roll in front, trying to get out of this without giving up 2. Trying to get this by there. Stone at the top of the 4 foot. Needs to get by the blue stone.
I don't think this has any chance of doing that, though.
Doesn't have a lot of weight. Oh. You have good eyes, Brent, because that just feather ticked.
Don't ever doubt.
Stopped sweeping and tried to just split their blue.
Yeah, that was closer than I thought, if I'm being honest. But like you said last time, you should always believe me. I'm always right. It's on the internet. It's on Twitter now. I retweeted it, so it's out there.
Never question you, right?
You said it. I didn't say it.
Oh, I could only rewind.
You want to take back? You can't take that back. It's out there. So big break for Quebec, and now trying to hit and roll away and force Team Cochrane, Team Ontario. I imagine he wants to roll to the left or roll in front, but then there'll be a fairly makeable double for Brian. Francois Robert's skip for Team Quebec. This team was in Nova Scotia last year for the Canadian Championships and got off to a super hot start. This is big trouble, Frankie.
This looks like he underthrew that, Brent. Not a lot of weight, and it just caught the curl. Sometimes when you do the draws the button to the middle, it means that the center line area has fresh pebble, and it's a little bit heavier, and you see rocks curl early in the game. We saw that both from Ian McCauley and Francois Roberge. The 2 is back on the table.
Yeah, that's always a killer when you catch a big break and something just feathers and rolls out, and then you hand that right back to them. That hits you right in the gut. But see if Brian can hold on. But they got off to a hot start last year in the round robin, Jen, and then kind of fizzled out and weren't really anywhere close at the end of the week. So this year maybe they've tried a different strategy. They're hanging on by a thread trying to get to the playoffs. Maybe they'll finish strong, but
this is really curling. I think he's going to be
blue.
He should stay, but there might be a double opportunity.
Yeah, it might be. See anything?
I think there's a double.
Sometimes you might roll out here, but you can hit either one
again,
first.
Brent, I wish I had my doodles.
Right? You can throw the spinner out the top.
Yeah, which rock do you think is easier to hit first?
I think it's easier to make the double by hitting, as you're looking at Maxime Amelé, the third for Quebec. It's easier to hit the right one first to make the double, but it's harder to stay. So if you're capable of throwing this really hard, then it's probably better to make it off the other one. That's how you're going to stay, but that needs to be cruising. So I think you're going to see him try and hit the left one as we're looking at the overhead as thin as possible and try and stick. But if he rolls out, he'll be more than happy, more than okay with that.
We need some speed on this, and it looks like they're trying to hold it. It's curling.
Made it. Will it go out the back?
Oh, I think it's going to hang on for a biter. What a break for Ontario, and now an open draw for 2 for Brian Cochrane. It just it caught too much of the top stone, so it took off quite a bit of the speed when it hit. And Francois is disappointed. I'm just trying to read body language, and it seems as though he's saying he should have run straight. But again, that fresh pebble just causes it to curl just early in the game, and it's hard to believe sometimes. And Brian's known as being a very good touch player, so he should be close with this. He just needs to hit the paint. Sweepers like it.
No panic for sure. Ian putting the broom up in the air early. Always a risky move, but does have to just stay in the paint. It's not going to be top 8 foot, is it?
No.
Give it a go. Ian had his broom in the air at the hog line, probably regretting that at the end. But that's 2 points. Doesn't matter how they get on the board. They go on the board. You can see Brian saying, wow. We've seen this ice be fast, but we'll be right back after the break with 2-0 lead for Ontario.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
And welcome back to the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championship. We are in the final day of round robin play, where we're going to see which teams will advance to the championship round. A must-win game for both these teams, Ontario and Quebec. My partner Brent Lang and I are commentating, and Brent did do some calculations, and I believe he believes the loser of this game may be out. So we'll see if we trust Brent's math or not. But a big 2 in the first end for Ontario. Quebec had an opportunity and just missed a double on Francois Roberge's last stone, leading to that 2 points. And so they're going to try to throw up a corner to guard and generate some more offense. They're really working the stone to get it over. They need to get it over the hog line. And they do. Well swept. Fairly long guard, but a guard nonetheless. Brian Cochran with that stone, the top of the button. Loves where that stone is, and is going to try to place a perfect guard. The lead for Ontario, Ken Sullivan. 51 years curling, since 1973. Pretty impressive. Slight over curl on the guard. They're just confirming that the guard is off the center line in case it's touched. And I believe it is. They just want to confirm, so there's no question. And because the corner guard's so long, I like this play. Trying to freeze the stone at the top of the forefoot. This is running a little heavy, though. You can usually tell because it's not curling. So I'm Team Quebec. I'm trying to get this right back, and I think it's already there. Brian's going to try to get it out of the rings.
That's how you.
Not a bad result, Brent.
That's how you set up a 3 right there.
Yeah.
Brian's going for another guard. Okay. Brian was always known as a little bit more defensive than offensive in Ontario, but that's 20 years ago. He may have changed his tune in seniors here, and it's a different team. Ian used to be his second. It'll be interesting to see if Quebec chooses to load it up here by playing a freeze or something, or if they try and clean up the guards. So Graham Sinclair being asked, I think he's overthrown this one. Trying to sweep it. This was supposed to be a guard, and they're going to freeze back 8. Heads up call there. I was going to ask you, Jen, the no-tick rule on the center line. Do you like it?
I do, but I think it should just be a no-tick guard rule.
Yes, that's what I said the other day. So it's nice to see we're on the same page.
Always, right, Brent? Always.
1,000% most of the time.
Yeah, and you see it with corner guards being tapped in the rings, and at the end of the day, I just think it just becomes more complicated trying to figure out if it's on the center line. I just think if it's in the free guard zone, you can't touch it until they throw off at the end.
That's how I feel too. And then I was thinking, as I was talking to myself before you arrived, thanks for coming, by the way. It's giving people somebody to listen to they actually like. But the only challenge, I guess, is whether or not it gets by, the old feather tick, how do you decide? But I do like the idea of not moving guards around. The idea of the rule is to make it a more offensive game. So let's allow that for both teams, not just the team without the hammer. Bit of a precise shot here coming for Graham. Got to get the weight right. You can hear the whistle. Brian Cochran has used a whistle. He's had some health issues over his lifetime where his vocal cords are not extremely strong and loud. So he uses a whistle, and to be honest, playing against him and near him, it's a lot better than playing most of the next teams with all the yelling. One whistle sweep, one whistle stop. Worked well for him for years. He's also an old gym teacher. We're used to whistling.
Good opportunity here for Quebec, though, Brent.
Really didn't want to hit that guard. The hit was there. You could have also just thrown in a little bump back and roll and just get another one in there, but Graham would want that one back. That's a shot he would expect to make.
Really got to go on this. It's lightweight takeout. They want to try to remove that blue stone from play.
Has to get outside the back yellow one for sure. Frankie working it. Got to sweep it for a while. Did it get there?
I don't think so. From our angle here, it's hard to see, but his body language looked disappointed.
It's now Ian McCauley, longtime ice maker in the Ottawa Valley. Going to try and make this double. If he does make it, he's going to stay. So there's a look at it, and it's not super clear in the overhead. Looks close to me, but I would agree. Oh, Ian doesn't like that one. He's already hitting the ice. No, you see why. That was not very close.
Looks like he might have got it a little bit out on release. It does look like it's the blue. But if you can hit and roll over, and at this point, there's still lots of rocks to come. You probably are just trying to get your two anyway.
I think he wants to hit and roll over there. I don't see another shot. It'll leave a double for Ontario, but wants to group these blues if blue is indeed third shot, which by all accounts I think it is. So third stone, Maxime Almalay. Max, as they call him. Eric jumping in there. Eric always used to have the fastest broom on tour. Got to get this by their own. They're not going to roll very far. That's a great sweep by Eric. It's a tough double they leave, though.
It is a tough double. You'd almost have to slash.
Pretty good result. Ian's standing right in the way, but makes a good double there. And now Quebec cannot nose this. There'll be a very makeable double. So you need to hit and roll over. Ideally, Max would hit and roll frozen on that blue one. If they make the double, there will be a long double back for Ontario. So hit and roll right over to that blue one. And it'll be a good chance to get that two right back here, which would be exactly what the doctor ordered for Quebec. That looks like it's going to curl, though. Some softer throws by the looks of it. This is crossing it.
You might want to try to feather tick their top yellow.
Unforced error. Where was that guy in 2006, Jen? Wrong side and hits. Come on. Oh, Brian, hold on to her. Brian was a little sick. We saw a total almost yard sale by the Lecoq brothers this morning in the game. The ice might be getting a little bit greasy, which can happen.
Yeah, who went down first?
That was older brother Mark.
Yeah.
Vance held on, but did slip and almost ate. They almost both ate the rock literally with their face.
And then made the game-winning shot.
Nothing to it.
That shot that was made on that in that scenario was basically sealed the win for New Brunswick. Very nice double, got by tight to the guard, but the sweepers were everywhere. And now Quebec, unfortunately, is seeing a very good end that was set up and taken away from them. They're trying to roll over in front of that blue stone and maybe get a miss, and so you can blank the end. These are hard because you want to make sure you stay for shot, but you also want to roll right in front. And that will not create a very difficult next shot for Brian Cochran by no hitting that zone. It's just an open hit and stay. And if Brian can do that, then Quebec will have to stay and take their single point. So Brian doesn't really care where he rolls. Might want to roll to a spot on the ice where he thinks it's more difficult to hit and stay. Might get a rollout and potentially steal one. But the goal here is just to make sure you hit and stay in the ring.
Quebec will have no choice but to try and hit and stay for one here if Brian can stay in the rings anywhere. Sounds like they're a bit concerned it's over curling. Right on the money.
Very nice shot. Now the same shots for Francois Robert. Hit and stay. He just threw this, so he should be fairly close. There we go. And I think it's going to be a quiet way takeout, easier to control with their fabulous sweeping. Very good sweeping team.
How's it looking, Jen? We got 8 guys on the ice here that like to chip and charge.
It looks good. Just a nice clean. And with that hit and stay, it'll be a single point from Quebec, and they will bring this game 1 point closer. They're down 2-1 after 3.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
And welcome back here to Third and Action at the Everest Senior Canadian Curling Championships. I'm Jennifer Jones, joined by Brent Lang, and we're featuring on the men's side today Team Quebec taking on Team Ontario. Ontario is up 2-1 after taking 2 in the first end, and with a pretty good force in the second.
Yeah, solid start from Team Ontario. Team Quebec, quite honestly, looks a little bit flat. Sleep at the wheel a little bit to start, but it's a long game. They're only down 1. Important when you're struggling, and they'll know they're struggling, obviously, to keep the game within reach and try and figure out a way to get some energy out there, make some shots, get some momentum. And of course, Ontario is going to try and make that as hard as possible. Lead Ken Sullivan with the come around, needs to slow down. And it will. So Francois asking Jean to make the freeze. No need to panic here. Quebec could be very happy if they could hold Ontario to 1 point here. I don't know what Max is pointing at the rock. He doesn't like that one, or he's giving it a lecture. Either way, that didn't work. Hit and roll away here, Jen, or hit and roll under?
I kind of like hitting and rolling under, only because it takes away the freeze.
I'd throw like a board weight and hit a skinny half and roll right into yours and bump it open.
I was going to say, I do think it's a hack. I was going to say hack weight shot. So you can never roll over the top or create a pocket.
This looks pretty close. Clean. This looks like an overroll, if anything. Very well done.
Nice shot.
2 for 2 for Kenny Sullivan there, that's for sure.
Just because it overrolled just that little bit, it does provide a back 4 tap to a pocket shot for Quebec.
So Eric wants to throw the right weight here, back 4, back 8. If you could ever get to the nose and kind of spread those around, or even just a little bit high. This is a brick, Eric. What is this? I'm going to say that picked. I'm going to hope that picked. It's nowhere near. That had to hit something, so that's unfortunate for Quebec. It's possible to miss shots. Eric's not going to miss by that much. And Ontario fans, that's a big break. Can Graham take advantage and put one dead buried full 8 foot right in front of the top button rock? I think Quebec will probably have to either put the game on the line or play the run back and try and bail out. This one is awfully tight too, Jen.
It does look tight.
Oh, how to take advantage of those. It did stay in a spot where that's a very small hole. But I think there is a hole.
I think you still, do you like playing hack and trying to remove one, staying in front?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to kill one if you get through that hole, because it's going to probably hit the back one, but it looks like a hack weight shot.
It's a tough hole, but it's there. Big shot.
Didn't look like Eric threw that very hard.
Again. I like to follow their rock, but this is looking pretty good. They want to get as tight to that guard. Made it through the hole.
They're not going to kill anything, though, but that's a great shot. How good was that sweep by Jean Gagnon?
Very nice.
So now Ontario probably going to play the same kind of shot with a little bit more weight. Brian looks confused. Maybe just having a hard time hearing each other, but Brian was always methodical. Reminds me of, the Kevin Cooey's of the world. Takes his time and uses all of the time clock, no matter how much time you give him. So we'll keep an eye on that. This one's a floater. This has got a curl. If you're going to wreck on a guard, you want to wreck on the tight guard, not this one. Not far off, but
it's just important to miss it the right way, and unfortunately needed to kill the yellow center line guard. Now I like the freeze, Brent.
On the back one? I like the draw, tap your own, roll, bury.
Freeze here is what I meant.
Yeah. I agree, Jen. I think that's the best shot. It's it's very risky. I mean, we're only in the third end, but this is a good opportunity to put some heat onto Team Ontario.
You can tap it, but even if you just freeze to your Yellowstone, try to get a little bit low.
Yeah, line it up on that back 4-foot one, hey?
Pretty good shot. I'm saying a little heavy. It might be a plan B. Might need to go to the back.
Line's pretty good.
Oh yeah, the line's great.
Another pick. I wonder if there's something going on. We haven't seen this all week. I wonder if there's something going on with the ice. That sucks to see that. You want this decided by the skill of the players and not a couple of bad breaks here and there. As bad as it is, it's pretty bad. Ian's gonna have to make the chase through the hole here. Hack waiter, board waiter, get to the nose, even roll a little bit buried, because the next shot for Quebec is the out-turn freeze to the back one behind the guard. I'm not sure what else they could be talking about. If you're going to double peel? You got any ideas, Jen? What else they could be talking about? Maybe just discussing the weight and the spot?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to talk about the options. I think it's really a double peel scenario. Maybe they're trying to see if they can get through that hole and get low. I think that's a pretty big risk.
That's what I like, though. I like trying the hole. Hack weight with the curl. If you get through the hole with hack weight, I don't see how it jams.
That's what they're playing.
Fancy weight signal there. That's not the ice I'd want to see, though. If that's the ice, pick a different shot. Yeah, Ian wants more. I do, too. Brian thought he was tight. Called the sweep right away. They're holding it, though. This must be heavy.
We need to get it by. Oh, tricky.
Oh, no. Will it go far enough? To lie two, it does.
That's a pretty big break for Ontario. They get that by, it just jams.
Speed was actually pretty good. Just a misread by Brian. So as predicted, out-turn freeze for Maxime Almele. Wants this right down to that back 4-foot stone. It does two things. It closes down the scoring area, gets them shot rock, but it eliminates the back one. This one I think is gone too. Are they just not spinning it, or what's going on here? Throwing too wide to handle, or whatever's going on. It's not working for Quebec. How does Ontario get another one in there? There is a hole. The shot rock's sitting right in the hole.
I just don't know if you really want to leave the in-turn draw for Quebec. They're going to be forced if you ever were to guard this blue stone. I think Quebec's got no choice but to play the in-turn draw, shot rock.
I don't, it's silly, but I almost like peeling. It's not. I mean, it's not a very good situation for Ontario. As weird as that sounds, I'm with you, Jen. You can't let him play that in-turn draw. But if you play it and you don't get right in there, he just comes through the hole and hits and rolls to the back of the button. So he is going to peel. What do you think of this, Jen?
I like this call. You're right, it's not a good situation, but by peeling, you will set up maybe a hit and roll or a double for Quebec.
You'll set up the double, but it'll probably stay in a spot where you might have the double back to lie too.
Yeah, or you might just play the come around and then still get your two.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like this call.
I think it makes some sense. So if you're Quebec, is there anything else you can do? There's no good place to draw, so you just kind of got to hit and roll over in front of that yellow-blue situation. Get shot rock, make it tough for Ontario to take it out. Probably roll in front is better than the double.
Yeah, I like board weight, Brent. Or quieter weight.
So we've seen some overcurls from Quebec, but this is the lefty. This is Frankie's out turn. This won't curl like his in-turn will. His in-turn can get a little soft from time to time, but his out-turn's fairly positive generally. I'm going to talk him into hooking this one off the planet probably, but generally he throws this quite positively. Gotta go here. Close.
Looks pretty good, just the weight.
Shot. Well, right on top. And
What a
that's perfect.
shot. And this is what we were saying. If that shot was made perfectly, Brian Cochran still has this come around where he can get shot rock behind cover at the top of the forefoot.
So it needs to be, yeah, very close to the forefoot to be shot rock. I don't like the line. And you can see why. I think it's heavy. I don't think it helps you ever to sweep it to tick this. That would just be a total fluke. It's not that heavy. So not an ideal spot, but not in a spot where Ryan's going to have to throw against any more than one. So, and he gets to throw the exact same shot on his next one for 1 point, likely. First, Francois Roberts has to make this in-turn draw for him, right down to it. Can't leave it short. Brian will have some kind of back forefoot kind of chip shot for 2 if you do that. So right to it. See, Frankie looked like he threw that one pretty good, but they're jumping on it right away. And this is on a lot tighter line than Brian's was. I think this is going to over curl unless it's heavy. I like it. It was a little bit heavy, so keep the line on the high side.
Very nice.
Pretty good shot there. I don't see you being able to make that for 2. Do you, Jen?
Well, I think it would be there if you had to make it, but
you don't have to make it right now.
That's what I mean. I think it's just a shot for 1. You get 1, you're still up 2. You have control of the game.
Yeah, you go after this shot trying to hit a quarter rock. You overthrow it a little bit to slide by and give up a steal. That would be pretty disappointing. So, but he is throwing a little bit of weight. This is not very much ice. You can hear them saying back 4, so. They like it. They think this has a chance.
I think they almost overswept it, but that stops in time. But it would just be a score of 1 for Ontario, and they will take a 2-point lead, 3-1, as we head to the 4th end.
Welcome back to the action. We are into the 4th end here between Ontario and Quebec at the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championships. I'm Brent Lang, joined by my amazing wife, Jennifer Jones, and we're at the Vernon Curling Club in beautiful Vernon, British Columbia. It's been a crazy good week already, and we're just getting started. We're going to be treated to some very high-level curling coming in here over the next 4 days. As we get into the championship pool, the pressure ramps up. I think we're only probably going to see one of these 2 teams in that championship pool, which is unfortunate for one of them. But that's the luck of the draw, as they say. They ended up in the pool of death. So I don't imagine Brian called that one short. I think probably Ken was asked to throw that top 4 foot, but maybe not. That's for the come around now. See if we can give you some updates on the other games. There are some big ones on the ice. with big playoff implications, championship pool implications. This one's going to wreck too, but this might end up okay if these both stay out of the rings. I really like that setup, and I can promise you that Quebec really doesn't. And throw another guard, eh? And then you'll see them try and peel in the middle somehow, or take out some blues in the middle. Looks good here from Jean Gagnon. Get some separation, make the double peel hard. That's a good shot. Now, how does Brian and Team Ontario get one in there? They play the bump, or they just a straight draw way out in the weeds? Let's see if Graham's up to this. This is a shot we've seen missed a lot on the overcurl. So make sure you get this positively out to the broom. Can't curl earlier, you will be all over the guard. So they like the speed.
Yeah, and it's tricky when you're getting a different path. We've seen people be heavy actually out wide. You can see that sliding pretty good. They were sweeping it. Lots of room by the guard, right on the tee line.
So a couple of updates for you on the ladies' draws that are currently on the ice. Quebec takes 4 in the first and then forces Nunavut to 1 in the second. They're up 4-1 with the hammer. New Brunswick and BC are tied at 1. Saskatchewan is down 2-0. They have not lost yet, but Alberta's 4-1, so that's a big game to win that pool, which doesn't mean much other than an extra win. And then Ontario and Susan Froud, the other battle of 4-1s, is 4-1 Ontario after 2 ends, and they will have the hammer. They took 4 in the first end, so a hot start for Susan Froud and Team Ontario. So now you can see Quebec wanting to clean that up in the middle. Can they? 2 thoughts here. Can you hit and roll on the tight one all the way behind the corner guards? It's kind of like a control or board weight.
Yeah, I like that.
He thinks he can make this double peel and roll in the rings, which would also be great.
Yeah, right now you're just trying to, you have some corner guards you want to use, so you're just trying to clean up the middle so you can actually use your corner guards. Trying to make the double. They lost it, Brent. Yes, they did.
Ended up right in between everything.
And then didn't roll in the rings and staggered those guards. Not the result they were looking for. So an intern draw attempt here from Ontario. Want to be top 4 with those guards being staggered. There's no run back available. This is running a little bit wide.
Which almost always means it's heavy so far this week. Trying to bump this one almost back behind the guard.
Oh, you could maybe make this double and roll up behind the guards, Brent.
Definitely possible.
This is one where you don't need to throw it a million miles an hour because you want it to stop.
I don't hate the straight draw here. I don't hate the hit and roll. This double's the best way to get one. To take them both, obviously both of them out, but it's better than the hit and roll because the hit and roll goes behind the tee line. This will spin up to the top 4 foot if hit properly. But you are coming off second shot. This one's got to finish a little bit and roll dead to the button instead. pretty good.
Now they're behind the stagger guards.
Hard to just peel those this early in the end, too. Still 4 shots to come for Quebec. Interesting to see what Brian will do here.
I think he thinks the outturn freeze is tough because of that long guard, the long yellow guard at the top of our screen.
He is correct. I like the intern draw, just kind of top 8 foot, mostly open. So while he's figuring this out, we've got updates for you. Northwest Territories at 0-5. Well, from what we saw last night, not deserving of that record, but they're up 2-0 on Manitoba. Playing the third end. BC men beating up on Nunavut 5-0 after 3. Obviously our game here, 3-1 Ontario. And then we've got Saskatchewan up 2-1 on Alberta. Not a big game for Alberta, but it is a big one for Saskatchewan. They want to keep that train rolling and don't want any blemishes. So good shot there, but as predicted, Quebec's going to use those corner guards, I think. Tough to hit and lie too and go anywhere that's not going to leave a double. So I think that's why they're playing this. Looks like they think it's a little heavy. Ideally, this would be above the tee line. Only because you don't want to leave a double. Brian looks pretty excited to sweep this.
It needs to stop. Oh, and it does, Brent. What a break. I think that's biting.
It is.
Not ideal, but it is in the rings.
So Ian McCauley gonna hit and lie too. But where do they want the shooter to go? Nose might be the kind of the best spot. Leave a really tough double, really thin, and it might jam on the one that Max just drew back 12. So something slowing Ian down there. I think Ontario started 0-2, Jen.
Wow, and they're just rattling off some wins. Stay in the hunt. Trying to hold this line. And trying to roll, but I don't know if it's going to roll too far. Oh, it does. Well done, Brian Cochran.
Fancy, but I don't know that I love the call. Yeah, what if they make this now? You're going to be drawn over there, leaving 2 opponents' rocks in the house, and they have the hammer. If Ontario doesn't miss, they've got them forced. I understand that, but a half shot could be time to pay the piper. That's going to curl. It's just Max is a little soft on that intern today. Really got to go here to get this by. Can Eric get it by? It won't be for a lack of effort.
Oh, no.
It's just a little light there. I don't know that was going to kill it anyway. Brian's going to hit the back one here, isn't he?
I would think so. I like this call. It's really all about forcing right now.
Not a very good steal opportunity, even if you did play an aggressive shot here. So wants to stick around though, because Quebec could play that same shot again, and then Brian's gonna have to draw somewhere where there's no double, or he's gonna give up 3. This is rolling out. So what do you think, Jen? Do you play that same shot if you're Quebec and roll the dice?
I think so. The other option would be to freeze on shot rock. Hopefully they lose everything right there.
Yeah.
And then you have a shot for 2.
Those are the 2 options. Both good options. If you make the good freeze over here, you're gonna get 2, I think. I think Brian's gonna probably just draw somewhere or bump it on the nose or something. I don't think he can afford to try and take it out.
They're trying to play that hit and roll though.
Gonna play the same shot as Max. I don't think Francois will curl quite like Max is here. Just the difference in release, lefty out turn, righty in turn, but Francois is also capable of working the ball, as they would say in golf. You know, throw a softer, a rock that's going to curl more when needed.
It's important to hit and roll. Sweeping, but it looks like there's room, Brent. Now they're trying to make it curl. Need to get tight to these guards to get the inside roll. I don't think it's going to. It might jam on the back. It does not, but it stops for second shot or third shot.
Well, it's a bit of an interesting situation. What do you do for Ontario? Talk to me here, Jen. What do you see? If he throws this in the rings, right in front of that, it makes it tough for Quebec. But it won't be far off like a nose triple. 3. If he makes a nose double, he gets 2, even if it jams. Not a fan of this. I see the challenge. But maybe just come down and bump that low one back. I'm sorry if I would have that loss.
It looks like it's going to over curl.
Yeah, it's going to over curl for sure.
Stopped in enough time, but I think the chase is there. I think you could tap this enough to get your 2.
Definitely possible. There is a triple for 3. Sorry, double. Not triple. Just get by the guard with like a control weight or board weight. Third and stone. What do you think, man?
It's definitely there. I just don't know if you take on that risk.
I think so.
I think you just throw back 8 and try to get 2.
Yeah.
You only have to move that stone 2 feet.
That's not very much ice for that, is it?
No, it looks like they're throwing hack. If you're going to throw hack, then I think you throw board and try to make the double.
Back line 2, or you're throwing some weight and getting ice. They're thinking it through. Not sure exactly what they're thinking through, but they're thinking it through. Here we go. Whatever he's decided, he's got to make sure he's committed to it.
They need to get this by.
It's by, they're carving it. Just going for 2 here.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever. 2 points for Quebec, and it feels like they haven't really been in this game, but if my math is right, they just tied it up. We're going to the 4th end break, tied at 3. We'll be back right after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
Welcome back to the fifth end action here at the Canadian Senior Curling Curling Championships, sponsored by Everest Funeral Concierge, just a tremendous supporter of curling. We are in the fifth end, and it is a tie game and a must-win game for both teams here in these championships. They're trying to advance the championship round, Team Ontario and Team Quebec.
Quick update for you on the men's games. Saskatchewan steal of 3 on Alberta. Alberta's week continues to go the wrong direction. So 5-1 after 4 ends for Saskatchewan, looking to move to 6-0. Our game tied up at 3. BC up 8-0 on Nunavut, not being very friendly there. And Northwest Territories, Manitoba. Manitoba's cracked a 3-ender in the third and forced to 1-4. So that game's tied at 3. That's a big game for Manitoba. That's a qualifying game, get them to the next round. So lots of action across the rink today. Now on the women's side, they're back up 7-2 with the hammer on Nunavut. That's for them to qualify for the next round. British Columbia up 5-1 on New Brunswick. Same situation there. Saskatchewan gets 3 to go up 3-2 on Alberta in the battle of 5-0 versus 4-1. In the battle of 4-1's Ontario taking a 6-1 lead on Nova Scotia. Must be playing quite well there. So things are looking up for Team Ontario on the ladies' side. And Team Ontario here, Team Cochrane, tied with the hammer, playing the fifth end against Team Quebec. Like Jen said, a must-win for both teams, I think. Not officially, but a loss here, and it's out of your hands. You would then need a Yukon to beat New Brunswick tonight, and you would have to hold the tiebreaker, the head-to-head against New Brunswick. You would have to beat New Brunswick, which we could look up. That sure sounds like a lot of work. So not quite enough curl there for Ken Sullivan. Trying to make this one curl for Jean, trying to chase it and got it out a little wide. Gonna catch a piece and hang on the edge, I think. So Cochrane's probably happy to blank this end. Take the hammer tied to 6, a 3-end game with the hammer. Should be an advantage Ontario, but things don't always go to plan. Important for Ontario to hit and stay here. All that does is keeps Quebec from drawing around the center guard. Good chance somebody will end up behind that center guard unless somebody rolls out first, and then it will be peeled immediately by Ontario.
I thought we might see Quebec throw another guard, maybe, Brent, try to really force here in the fifth end.
Yeah, I think if it was 7, you would see that for sure. You would have had Jean throw 2 center guards, but because it's the fifth, going to play a little patient here. But yeah, I mean, selfishly, I was hoping they would, Jen.
We just really need to roll out either team. If Ontario rolls out, you'll see Quebec come around their guard. And then if Quebec rolls out, you'll see Ontario peel the guard. Problem is that the guard's so tight to the rings that Ontario could maybe hit and roll on. And it's not really set up for steal. If you threw the long guard, you might have the opportunity to steal.
Will this one hold on? I think so. And here's a tough hit and stay here. I know it's an open hit, but way out in the weeds. Eric's got to find a way to nose this or hit and roll back in. Hit and roll back in would be great. has to stick around. I think you're right, Jen. That'll be an instant peel call if this rolls out. Uh-oh.
Need to work on this to get it to stay in the rings. And that will roll out.
Here comes the peel. And we're going to have to tell some stories, Jen. Not going to be a lot to watch here for the next 5 minutes. Graham Sinclair going to be asked to throw the out-turn heater here, hit this high and hard and roll out. And Quebec may throw a guard. They may just say, well, you know what, let's just throw it in the rings, go to 6. Going to be some pressure on Brian Cochran to make the blank, though. Nothing worse, Jen, than not taking a chance at a deuce, playing super defensive, and then getting forced, or even worse,
flashing
that blank attempt, which can happen.
You see it more often than you'd think.
Yeah, it's not that uncommon. So Quebec did just say, you know what? Okay, well, you got us to send. We're going to come at you with double centers in 6. If not 6, then in 7. We'll make something happen. Ian's trying to find a slider here. He's got a slip-on metal or steel slider he's used for years.
And this is all about jockeying for position. So if you want to try to, if your Ontario blank is in, make sure you score in 6. You'll have 2 hammers to 1. That's why I thought Quebec might try to force a little bit more here in the 5th end. Definitely don't want to give up 2 though.
Hard to imagine that this used to be the way curling was. Whew, no wonder everybody was drinking and smoking on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Fall asleep if you weren't.
I didn't realize that Graham Sinclair was an Air Canada pilot.
Is that what he does now?
Yeah, it says here he's currently piloting with Air Canada, flying long-haul routes, mostly to Asia on the Boeing 777, my favorite aircraft.
Nice. Let's get on his flights. I bet he gets there faster. He's a fighter jet pilot.
Yeah.
He knows where the gas is. Guess that makes a lot of sense, obviously.
Pilot.
You can see Brian Cochran already sliding down. It's not his turn to throw, but he knows it's going to be a simple decision, banking some time, because they have had a couple of conversations. I can't see their clock overly clearly, but no sense wasting any time. Probably will be some discussions to come.
And Graham's home club is Manotick, where Craig Saville, and his wife Karen had a house. We spent some time in Manotick.
Yeah, beautiful part of the Eastern Ontario.
And Jamie was born in Alaska. I didn't realize. See, I'm learning all these things. It's quite interesting.
She's born in Alaska. That's
yeah,
cool.
It's because Graham was on an exchange assignment with the United States Air Force, flying the F-15 in Anchorage, and that's where Jamie was born. Which is why she's dual citizenship, and has played for the U.S. and is now trying to, I believe, play for the Canadian team.
Yeah, she's eligible again. Is that right?
I don't know, and I I'm not sure. She was waiting for a time limit, I believe.
Yeah. Who's she curling with?
She plays with Laurie St. George.
Oh, that's right. Quebec.
They have a 5-person team with Marie-France Larouche.
Marie-France as well. There's a blast from the past.
That's why I actually thought Marie-France may be playing more of the playdowns because of residency. But
That might be.
I could be wrong.
So the World Seniors in April, the winners will get to go to Östersund, Sweden. Marie-France would be familiar with Östersund. That's where they were Team Canada for the ladies, junior ladies worlds, and we were for the junior men's worlds. So she would be familiar.
Okay, I'm learning so many things. So thank you guys for having a pretty straightforward end here, because Ian McCauley, Brent, he's curled with Brian Cochran for 25 of the last 32 years. That's a crazy amount of time.
Sure is.
But he's installed curling ice for 40 years. And he's also invented a fair amount to improve the game. Did you know that that included the removable hats that we all use in every event we play in?
No, I didn't know that, but I'm gonna have to test that. He made the blank here, Brian? So
nice shot.
Made the important one, but we'll check on Ian's story, see if he invented the hack. I mean, Dr. Eagle said he invented the question mark. True. We'll be back right after this. Tide playing 6, Ontario with the hammer.
At every OK Tire store, you'll find a local owner who lives in your community, proudly offering full auto service. And when you shop with us, you're shopping local. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. It's going to be okay.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
And welcome back here. We are in the 6th end action between Ontario and Quebec at the Everest Senior Canadian Championship. I'm Jennifer Jones, joined by Brent Lang. All tied up at 3 after 5. So the last 3 ends of this game are going to determine the winner, and likely the one team that will go on and the one team that will not. Pressure is mounting.
This is where the rubber meets the road, Jen, and how are we going to see these teams play this end? Predict the future for me.
Yeah, cool. Quebec would love to steal, but they actually wouldn't mind a blank here. But it's going to be difficult because Ontario is... So fairly straightforward end. And that Quebec is going to try to steal, and Ontario is going to try to generate more than one. But they're okay with the single.
Yeah, anything but a steal. Interesting to see, and I missed it. I apologize, but that blue center guard, that's a clear mistake. Team Ontario. Ken must have come up late on a come around, and so now he's going to try and make that right. Pretty good start for Quebec here. 2 center guards, 1 on the button. They just want to close down the scoring area here. They're okay with giving one to Ontario as well. A 2, even if the score 2 to Ontario here would really not be very good. But 1 is okay. 1 down with playing 7 is still a situation you can win from quite often. You see a freeze here from Quebec, top 8. And then Ontario's going to start ripping at those guards, I would think. This is too closed down for Brian's liking. The deuce is not developing early, so it's time to bail. Got this one there, sweeping this one the whole way.
They need to kind of get it frozen.
Got it to the rings, but not exactly what they wanted. But I don't see a very easy triple peel, so important shot here for Graham Sinclair. Double peel and roll the shooter is going to be the hard part. Easy to jam this one and roll the shooter off, and that wouldn't be very good. I think that still misses the yellow. If it clips that other yellow, then that would be fine. I don't think it does. We're going to find out, though. Oh, it did clip it, but is that good or bad? That's better. Yeah. So Quebec needed to get that one another 2 or 3 inches, and then they would have been in a really good situation. Still a decent opportunity here, though, to close down the scoring area. I like this call. Switching turns.
Get some angle.
You can draw to the same spot, but if this one doesn't curl enough or if it's short, it's not very useful. The other side, there's a bunch of good spots for it. That's my theory on why I like the other turn, but this can just as easily get right to the right spot. If this doesn't curl enough, though, you might see a double on the top 2 yellows. And that would set up a very good offensive situation for Ontario. This is not going to get across it, that's for sure.
Perfect weight, Brent.
It didn't go far enough, so no double. Will they? Yeah, I think he's going to run the guard in. What do you like here, Jen?
I like this call. You just got to make sure you can score 1.
Yeah.
I actually
like
don't mind
too.
nosing the Yellowstone that was just placed there. You could make the back 2 go and lie 2, but there's just too much action around the button.
I think there's too much space between the 2 on the button, though. I think it misses the back one.
It was it's hard to see from the original angle, but I think you're right.
This is a good-looking shot. That's an end changer.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic shot from Graham Sinclair there. Lots of speed there. Got the shooter to roll to a corner guard, which is great, because they would like to get aggressive here and try and score 2 points if you're Ontario, but they just don't want to take on a huge amount of risk. So now what? I think you have to hit that and roll. Yeah, right in there would be really good. But this is fairly open now for Ontario. A lot more comfortable. Let's not call it comfortable just yet, but a lot more comfortable than it was before that shot.
Yeah, the fact that they eliminated that yellow stone in the 4-foot and stayed right there.
Mm-hmm. The kicker is a big one there, right?
Absolutely.
Over curling a bit. Really trying to, as long as they stay, it's not. Nah, I changed my vote. That's pretty bad. You're gonna see the double made probably on the top 2 and line up 2 blues in a row on shot rock. He wants Ian to come have a look at this, just so he knows what he's trying to do. He knows this is a big shot. but it looks to me like third of a stone, half a stone. Oh, I don't know that you need to come off that one. I think off that one makes more sense. If you stay right there, it's going to be, the blues are going to be perfectly lined up on the yellow shot rock. If you hit it thin, you might even squeeze through there and kind of freeze on there. That would be fancy. So wants to kill both of these. Doesn't look like a blank, but if this one, if he hits it kind of thick and just bumps it back, that will basically eliminate the blank this late in the end. Not completely, but so it wants to keep that alive. But if this is made, this is really starting to look like multiple points for Ontario. That one a little bit narrow. It's close though. This might wiggle right through there. Oh gee, a little unlucky, but that's a pretty good shot.
Very good shot.
So it looks like there's a double, but I don't know that it goes right. I don't think it misses that yellow.
I think it's almost a triple. You have to throw it hard to try to lose the blue out the side, but
is that possible?
I don't know. I don't think so. You almost just have to play hit and roll off that top one and just try
That's what I'm thinking, Jen. Yeah, hack waiter, board waiter. Probably going to push them in for shot, but so what?
I almost like a little bit more weight, even like normal, Brent, and just try to get your Yellowstone to the back of the 12 foot that's on the button.
I like that. And try and roll over behind the corner guard. We got it figured out up here in the booth. It's always the easy part. Making the shots is the hardest. Playing the intern here, which makes this shot harder in my view. And he's trying to throw this hard and see if he can get them going. I don't know.
It's just such a big gamble.
I'd like to find out though. So
yeah, thank you.
Gotta go.
Up the side. Yes.
What a great shot. So blank's alive. So now Quebec is hoping for the blank here. You very rarely see a team, I mean, scoring in six, scoring the even ends, especially late. And we've heard all of that stuff, but you very rarely see a team take one on purpose in six when you're tied. Well, at any time, actually. I'm not personally a fan of it. I have seen it. But I don't like it.
I always think it's nice to have the hammer. But that one run back.
He's going after the roll here. That's going to roll out.
Needs to stay.
Well, it stays close to making the perfect roll, but if you're Quebec, you need to roll back past the guard. You roll behind the guard, they're going to freeze. And if they make the freeze, you're going to give up two. Which is pretty much all you don't want right now. Would you try and roll behind the guard here, Jen, and take the chance that he misses the freeze?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to.
Think a force is better than a blank by a lot?
I would actually rather probably try to roll to the middle if you can.
Yeah, that's what I see too. Stay away from that corner guard, and then if you roll back 8 past the guard and then they make the roll, you can freeze and still force. I don't think there's a huge difference in their chances of winning this game if they force versus blank, but giving up 2 really makes it tough for Quebec to win this game. All you analytical junkies out there will tell me I'm wrong, and that's fair. You can come at me on Twitter. Doesn't look like he's trying to roll behind the guard. Just going to nose it. So if you're Cochran now, I think it makes sense to draw. He doesn't agree with me. Do you like the draw, Jen?
I do. I think you try to get your 2, and if you get 1, you get 1.
Yeah, the 2 is so huge. You know, if you blank this, you're going to have to deal with double centers and 7. Which is fine. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 and essentially win the game. But if they ever steal 1 and 7, because they're going to go all out, they don't want to blank. They can't afford to blank. If they ever steal 1 on you, all of a sudden you've lost control of this game. So this is a good chance to make a good come around the corner guard. Quebec will have virtually no out. They'll have to make a dead perfect corner freeze. Like if he's hitting this now, and doesn't make, like if he makes the roll and Quebec makes the freeze, or if he doesn't make the roll and Quebec makes the roll, you're still forcing. You didn't really even try and make a deuce. This is close. And that's a great shot by Brian.
Perfect.
So same result as a better. If you're going to make the hit and roll perfect, then hey Brett, you should shut your mouth. That's where I would have wanted to draw it to. So big pressure shot for Francois Robert's team. Quebec needs to come down and freeze on the center line side, the high side. If he does, he'll be shot, and then Brian will have to draw the 4-foot. Anything else though? A little heavy, a little light over curl, and Team Ontario will have a chance for that ever important deuce. Here it comes. Eric thinks it's light. Diving right in there right away. They're going for line too, it sounds like.
It's a big shot. You can't give up 2 here in the 6th end. They need this freeze. You can see the intensity and how much this means to everybody. Needs to be shot rock, Brent. It looks like it's
They've
over
lost
curling.
the line.
And that will be an unfortunate mistake and a draw for 2 for Team Ontario and Brian Cochran. These look straightforward, Brent, but they're so important.
Need this one. Worked hard, made a great hit and roll, played a good end, need to cash it in. So here we go. I fully expect Brian to make this, but he's got to throw a good one here and give the sweepers a chance. They're diving in early. They haven't really stopped. Here comes Ian. He got this curl and Brian's turned around. He's missed this.
Wow.
Not even close.
That's a big miscue.
Soft hook there. Wow. And 1 point for Ontario. And a 4-3 lead going to 7. Quebec dodges a bullet. We'll have more action from the Everest Senior Curling Championships right after this quick break.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
All right, welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships 7th end action. You can see Brian Cochran kind of slapping his own leg, disappointed in himself, had a free draw to the 8-foot for 2 points and 6 to take a commanding lead. Missed it pretty badly, just through about a halfway guard, so not sure what happened there. Maybe a bit of a lack of concentration or maybe just a softer release. But in any event, it's a 4-3 lead for the team from Ontario. And Quebec having to feel a little bit of extra bounce in their step after that big break. So big game for both teams. As we've said, if you're just tuning in, the winner's going to get into the championship pool. That needs to stop. Oh my, that's close. I think it stopped. You might need to measure this. The winner's going to get into the championship pool. And the loser is going to have to sit back and wait, because if New Brunswick beats the Yukon in tonight's draw, the loser of this game will be on the outside looking in. Their dream of winning a Canadian championship in 2023 will be over.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Well, that's a good question. I get a lot of this stuff wrong, so thanks for pointing that out. You're a lot nicer to me in the earlier draw. I'm fairly sure, but I'm never going to say I'm 100% confident. This will put the winner to 4-2. Loser will drop to 3-3. New Brunswick is 3-2 playing the Yukon. If they win, they'll go to 4-3. Depends on Manitoba as well, so I'm glad you asked. So no, I'm not sure. Manitoba could lose both and go back to 3-3. We should check on the Manitoba game, Jen.
Yes, we should.
My nickname in our relationship is We, so I'll have a look.
And because that guard is so tight, I thought they'd throw another guard here, but it looks like they're trying to come right in, Brent.
What?
And unfortunately, just ticked it in now. Both those stones are in the ring, so Team Quebec can play this double, or they can just ignore and go around their corner. Depends on how aggressive they want to get here.
They're giggling. They don't know if it's in. So in that other big game to keep one of these teams potentially alive, it depends on the tiebreakers and everything else, but we can't go totally down that rabbit hole. Dave Bomer is tied playing 6 with the Hammer against Northwest Territories. So if Manitoba wins that game and New Brunswick beats Yukon tonight, the loser of this game guaranteed not in the championship pool, unless I don't understand the format, which is 50-50. I'm going to say it's 80-20 that I do. Give myself some credit, but that's where we're at, Jen.
And we just had an unfortunate miss from Quebec. They rolled out, Brent, and so now if you're Ontario, you can either, I think you throw the guard. You really would like to force here.
I think you give it a shot.
Yeah, if you peel, they're just giving Quebec the opportunity to blank, and if you can force, you're tied with the Hammer playing the last end. Pretty good situation.
I like this call too, Jen. I don't think you want to just give them the blank. 1 up without, statistically, it says you're more likely to win than 1 down with, but tied with, you're statistically a lot more likely to win. So why not take a little bit of a chance? Because even if you did give up 2 here, you still have a chance to win. If you force, your chances go way up. So without being a mathematician, it seems to me like take a chance take the risk of giving up a deuce for the carrot of forcing and being tied with, and if it does end up in a blank, so be it. But you got to take a shot.
Yes, I think you do. And same with Quebec. They could try a double peel, but they have a guard. I think you're really kind of in it now. You might as well try to get your 2. You need this come around to be above the T line, though. As a sweeper, you don't want to sweep this aggressive. I don't think you want that there, Brennan. I know they were trying to get it buried.
No, you definitely don't want that there.
Like, even if that's half open and it's above the tee line and Ontario plays a hit and roll, you could maybe hit and roll back, but by putting that rock behind the tee line, if this freeze is made, your scoring area is going to be really tight.
Yeah, there's one result I didn't talk about, and that was a steal for Ontario, which would be quite good for Ontario, obviously. State the obvious. This one's curling. Can they get it there? I think it's going to rub on the top blue one. It's just a little bit light from Graham Sinclair, but you can see the problem here if you're Quebec. You kind of got to do that and leave him the freeze. But what else do you see, Frankie? That can't be an option.
No.
Very good chance of just freezing there and lining it up even worse. In the pocket could be an option. But then they're still drawing, and then you're running the guard into the pocket. So I can get behind this call. What do you like here, Jen? It's not a good situation for Quebec.
No, it's not. You could draw around the blue stone to the top of the 4-foot half buried. Maybe they'd play the double.
Yep. At this point, I know it's too early to say this, but it's probably not going to be a blank. So I think you freeze one right in the pocket.
I like this freeze, yep.
Very precise shot. It's been swept a lot. Doesn't look very tight for line, so they must think it's light. Line is not very good. You're going to line this up just wrong, potentially. It's mismanaged pretty badly, but it's actually not terrible.
The angle's not bad, Brent.
Yeah, the angle worked out well, actually, so maybe I'm wrong, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. But we established earlier today that I'm always right, so it can't be that. We'll have to come up with a different explanation. Now what do you like if you're Ontario? Just kind of nose that?
I like trying to nose, get low with hack, maybe tap your blue up to the top of the 4-foot. One lonely yellow.
Really like to open that up, eh? Like to open up that freeze on the button again, so that's why I like this, yeah. Hit and roll low, roll right into your other blue. Tick your back one just kind of out of the way to open up that freeze, but interesting end developing here. All sorts of options still potential.
Quiet way.
Alberta at a 1-5. You don't see Alberta at 1-5 very much in any curling event. So what do we got here? You're going to hit this one, is he? He's not sure whose second shot. I don't like it, Jen. I don't love this call.
I don't like it either.
He must think that Quebec is lying too. So, okay, so you make this shot, which it sounds like they got to really sweep this. Ah, this isn't close. This is crossing the guard. What the? That's picked, obviously.
And what a turn of events.
Not that tight. Now they're hitting to like 4. I don't understand that call. I mean, that sucks to see, obviously.
This is a hit for 4, Brent.
Do you think there's a spot in the ice there, Jen? That's where Max's took off, like looked like it picked. And I think Eric had one, like crossing guards. Like that's a takeout that clearly hit something. But yeah, hitting the live 4 here.
Isn't it a hit 4? Oh no, this isn't. I'm sorry, I thought it was last rock.
But that angle tap is the savior if you're Team Ontario. And there's nothing that Quebec can really do to take that away.
They're talking about trying to, on that top stone at the top of the 8-foot, jam it onto second or third shot rock, whatever that blue stone is. Have your shooter roll into the yellow stone to block the freeze.
That's fancy, and that would be good, but you just miss it and hit it thick, and it hits the back blue and rolls into the 4-foot. You make it for them. That would be that's a hard shot. I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
The best shot here probably, Jen, is the hit and roll into the path of the tap. So if they can hit and roll kind of right between the blue and the yellow top 12, it's going to be right to the 4-foot, and then they'll play it with weight. But that would be better. I think you want to roll this one right in there. Would you agree?
I agree.
I guess if you don't, you might use it as an in-off, but Ryan Shooter might roll in front of it. So anyway, time for talk is done. Time for action. This is looking pretty good. This is looking really good.
Need to get it by. They do.
And rolls.
Wow.
That rolled dead. That looked like it was rolling a lot farther. Is the ice melting? So thinking maybe just make this hit and stick, like make the 1-foot run back and stick for second shot. Leave the double for 3. That's an option.
I like that. And you hit it a little high, you might get it to go behind everything, leave a draw for 2.
Yep.
At this point, you're just trying. You could also make the top double. Give them 3. There might be a triple on those 3 yellows.
I think a lot of times that's going to jam. I don't see where that leaves. Does it leave across the top? I think it just jams right into it. I'm trying to figure out which way it leaves the rings, and I can't see it going out low or high, so that to me means it sticks. Is that what you see, Jen, or do you think it spins out the top?
No, that's what I see. It's hard to tell from our TV angle, but that is what I see. Unless you throw it really hard and hit it thick, but you'd have to throw Kevin Cooey peel weight. Looks like they've decided on your first shot.
I think there's a couple of good results here. So right on the nose leaves a double for 3. I think the best shot is a little bit high and roll it in behind that stagger. But there's spots you can roll it where you're going to leave a nose hit for 4, Jen.
There is. They have to at least hit this high. They cannot over curl.
This is gone.
And I think they've lost it. This is going to be disaster for Team Ontario. Maybe a little quiet on weight is what he wanted. And this is a free draw for 4. I think you probably want to draw to the wing, Brent, to avoid tapping any of those blues up right there.
Yeah, that's what I see for sure. You could go way out there, but you've played a come around the corner guard a million times. You've thrown corner guards all game. I don't know why you wouldn't just throw that path. This is his out turn. Francois can make his out turn run pretty straight, so this makes some sense too, Jen. But what a turn of events. A terrible pick on Brian Cochran's first one in 7. You hate to see that. And then that can only be described as an unforced error. I mean, it wasn't that far off, but they needed a big shot. Didn't get it. So now Francois Roberts with a wider out-turn draw. Need to sweep this one early to keep the line, unless it's really heavy. And Frankie's got to make sure he spins it out there. You can see his out-turn's quite positive usually. Eric likes to sweep everything, but I think sweeping this early is a good idea unless it's heavy. They are not letting up, Jen.
No, they aren't. A little bit now. And I think this is going to be it, Brent. I think this is going to be for 4. It is. And what a big turn of events in this game. Quebec has trailed all game long, and that will be a big score of 4 to take a 3-point lead as we head to the 8th and final end.
Okay, folks, we're back. If you're from Quebec cheering for Quebec, or from wherever cheering from Quebec, you're happy. Team Ontario fans not as happy at the moment. Need a big score here. Need 3. But if you're cheering for, you might as well hope for 4 and then settle for 3. But in all seriousness, an unfortunate pick on Brian's first. An interesting end, lots of different options that end, and the end result is 4 points for Quebec and a 3-point lead. I'm Brent Lang with Jennifer Jones. We're coming to you live from the Everest Funeral Concierge Canadian Senior Curling Championships. We are here to find out who is going to represent Canada at the World Championships in Östersund, Sweden in April. So both of these teams came in here with aspirations to do that. I can promise you that. Along with probably 6, 7, 8, 9 other teams. Maybe all of them. I don't know. Maybe everybody comes in expecting to win. I don't think so, but good start there, Jean Gagnon. That's perfect from the lead. Up 3, that's exactly where you want your lead stones. You can see Ontario here playing quick. They're probably tight for time. I mentioned earlier, Brian's used to it. They always used to use all the time, no matter what. Just methodical. Nothing. It's not right or wrong. It just is. So what will Quebec do with this next one? The first, second stone. Both corner guards are made well by Ken Sullivan. So I wouldn't throw a guard myself, Jen, would you? I'd choke one of those corner guards. Draw another one in the 8-foot. Inside the corner guards, so when they go around the corner, you're lying 3. What do you do in this situation?
Yeah, I don't mind this. We're not making run triples all the time. It makes Ontario have to deal with it. But I also like coming in the rings. Those rocks are in a pretty good spot.
They are really good. hard to double and not hard, like fairly hard to double and stay, which is why I like spreading them out. It's a good guard. Just hack, I think I heard. This doesn't look good from the hack. Graham Sinclair, this is a big shot here, though. But even if he makes a good one here, very unlikely he's going to roll dead buried, and Quebec's going to chase it. This is real tight.
You could chisel off this guard, though, Brent, and create 2 more corners.
This is hitting it pretty thick. If you're Quebec here, and that's going to choke off one of the corners, too.
Oh boy.
Oof. If you're Quebec here, the longer you can keep the play away from the corner guards, the better. You don't want to look too good too early there. Quebec's going to consider not peeling here, I bet. What do you do here, Jen? It's way too early to shift gears. You have to peel. That's going to go into one of those yellows or into the rings. What do you like here, Jen?
I like peeling. I would actually probably peel the guard where there's nothing behind. This corner guard on the right-hand side of our screen is choked off.
The problem is, how do you peel that one where there's nothing behind it without running into the center one? And if you run into that center one, quite often it's going to go into the rings. Get after it and make the double. You could just say, okay, Eric. No trouble here. Back line again. See, when your lead stones are put in such a good spot, these aren't wasted shots. Obviously, they're important. They're very difficult, but they're not going to probably end up with something here that Quebec can't take out. It's necessary, but we're getting into the second half of the end, and Ontario's going to have nothing in the rings. If you get this to the nose, which is so hard, maybe you can roll behind the other yellow, though. Split those up. Okay.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
But you need 3, and you only have 4 rocks left. So
exactly.
It's getting a little nervous here for Team Ontario.
So talking about hitting this thin and squirting it towards the center, I'm not sure that's possible. You'd have to hit like an inch of it. But make it go away, stay there. Ontario's going to freeze on the button, and then Quebec's going to have a decision to make. Ooh. He went for this, Jen.
He did.
Oh. Ended up in a good spot, but that's not a good shot. I mean, just had to hit that thing. Going for it thin didn't make any sense. Okay. We've got action. Make the freeze here. Quebec's got to start thinking about what they're going to do next. First things first, Ian McCauley, third for Team Ontario, has got to make this freeze. Ken and Graham got to put this right where they need it. They don't look super happy.
Needs to curl, Brent. They might want to curl. They're trying to get a little wick, I think, off this top yellow.
They're trying.
Trying to hold it. And they did.
Dirty. What a great line call. Good communication.
That's right. Look at that.
What are we doing now, good. Quebec?
Sorry, Brent. I was going to say it looks like you could maybe promote that yellow and make the takeout, except when you go to the overhead. It doesn't look very good from the overhead. But this is a good call. I think if you nose this, Brent, do you think you can get them both?
I don't think so. It looks like it goes too high. It goes across the top. So I think this is more of a nose it or even hit and roll a little bit low. Get something in the way of another freeze, whether it's your shooter or the one you're hitting. You don't want them to get another one into the 4-foot here. So he's throwing this hard. He thinks maybe. I guess if he hits it high, it's close. Nose won't do it, I don't think, but I've been wrong a lot. So this is high, this is close. Oh, right across the top. That's a misread, and that couldn't afford to play that if you weren't going to make it, unfortunately. And I don't think there's anywhere he could have hit that. Having seen them hit now, it didn't matter where he hit that. That just wasn't, the angles weren't lined up right.
No, and it was hard to tell from our angle, but you're right. If you're not going to make it, then you just play it quieter and you hit and roll in front.
Yeah.
To prevent this freeze.
That top 8-foot yellow one is going to come into play for Quebec. It's going to be a slashable rock. Oh, Ian's whipped this one. Throwed his arms in the air and said, well, Ian, you're the one who put the horsepower on this one, pal. This is no bueno.
Yeah, that was a really good opportunity. And he threw similar weight to his first shot, but the first shot whipped off a Yellowstone. He had to take some speed off.
First one's too heavy, but what do you do if you're Quebec here? I don't think you can make that double, guys. There's not enough space, and it's too far back. And then Brian's going to have the chance to freeze one right on there. You see how fast Ontario's playing? I think they're really tight for time.
They have had a few discussions, lengthy discussions. You nose hit Bren. I don't think it changes anything for Ontario. They're still going to play the freeze and then just try to figure out how they can get a third point in there.
I think nose actually hurts you in case they do draw in there and you have that slash, it might jam. So he's going to try this double.
Francois Robert is going to have to play a freeze on his last stone anyway.
He's going to try this double.
Do you ever play it now, Brent?
The freeze? No, I don't think so. I don't hate this. Maybe he can move it out of the 4-foot.
Oh, no, that got out a little bit wide, I think. Oh, no, they like it.
It's got a curl. Got a curl.
Oh,
got a
nice.
curl a little bit. It's close. Okay. Not bad. I don't know who shot. Man, that was close. Great effort.
Looks like blue might be shot, but it is hard to tell.
What it did do was really open up this slash unless they get low, and if they get low, they're probably going to be all the way back there, so he just is going to have to follow them down. But if you're Ontario, I mean, you got a chance for 3 here. As long as you're shot at the back there. If you're not shot right now, you got to move that yellow one. So I don't think they're, or I do think they're shot. So down to it here, 1 shot each. This is so tight. I got it by though, great sweeping.
Got to get it by the yellow.
It's by. Might be by everything though, even the back yellow.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Not bad.
I think they're lying too. So Quebec's got to draw the button here. Anywhere in front of them in the 4-foot, at least second shot. And
Big shot from the skip of Team Quebec. Wins the game with a perfect freeze here. This is Francois Roberge. They jumped on it right away, indicating they think it may be a little bit light.
I hear a Ligne Bun. As long as we're not light here in the Ligne Bun, there should be fine. Got to go here. This is perfect, Jen.
Yes, it is. What a shot under pressure.
That's why you're the skip, Frankie.
And I don't
That
see
is lights out for Team
anything.
Ontario. They can look for a while, but it doesn't matter. You got to get another one in there. Even if that corner guard comes in, it never gets to the 4-foot. I guess maybe
That in-off is too flat.
Maybe they can get all of the yellows to leave the house, and then it's sticking in the 8-foot, but I don't think so, folks.
Looks like they're doing a dance out there.
Yeah, Ian's trying to get it out the side door with his body, with his hips. I don't think that Ontario's going to win this game.
No, I don't think so either.
What a great shot by Francois, right when he needed it. Not only did he get it in there, he got it low and dead frozen.
Yeah, I think this in-off's too flat. You could not throw that hard enough.
You can't get, yeah. The angle doesn't work. I mean, they got to try something, but this is hope and a prayer.
So they're playing the corner guard, Brent?
Corner guard, stick it on the yellow one. Somebody needs to create a diversion in the corner while Ian kicks out all of the yellow ones and keeps the blue ones in the house. So here it comes. Brian's going to have to put a lot of pepper on this one too. Looks like about 3/4 of the rock to get it onto that one. If he gets it onto that yellow one, he'll be doing well. This isn't very close.
No, he was trying to throw it so hard and just didn't get the quite angle. And with that, it'll be another steal of one. And just a late charge from Team Quebec here in this round-robin game. And they will win this game 8-4 over Team Ontario. And that could be the last time we see Team Ontario at this event. We'll see how the rest of the games shake out. Thank you for watching. This is the Everest Senior Canadian Championship. I'm Jennifer Jones, together with Brett Lang, and we will see you for our next draw in a couple of hours.
All right, great show, everybody.
Imagine